Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for rejoining what has been the most amazing show this morning. Absolutely loving it, and it's going to get even better. Why? Because we're going to introduce you to an incredible platform right now. Joining us is composer and flutist Lisa Briel, along with Ben van Niekerk, who is a choir conductor at the Aurum Cantores, and they are here to chat about the upcoming Symposium event taking place this September. Let's give them a very feel-good welcome. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. I wish we had a massive live studio audience, because that's what performances like this do warrant, and I'm so glad that we've been given just a taste with that sound check, and you guys are in for an absolute treat in a moment. But let's get a bit of background. Lisa, thank you so much for being here. I know you've got a busy time ahead of you and a very firm focus on, it feels like, the bigger picture. When you can get people to come together within your space like this, it must be a very powerful thing, because you're often in your own lane, doing your job day to day, fighting the good fight, but in a very narrow space. We are widening that up. Give us some background into the symposium.
So the Symposium for South African Composers, or we just call it SOSAC.
As we do, yeah.
It is at Stellenbosch University next week from the 8th to the 12th of September. And it is just a program with so many performances, so many shows, academic things. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what we're planning on doing is every night there will be a performance, a show. There would be an orchestra, there will be wind band, there will be a gala concert, there will be all kinds of things. And then in the mornings, we'll have more of lectures, kind of more academic things, teaching anyone who wants to learn. And in the afternoons, we have master classes, more practically based things about African music, about jazz with Ramon Alexander. We have oral, organ things, all kinds of things. So
I love this. Like the term, I use the term preaching to the choir quite a lot, but this is literally what you are doing here. You've made it accessible, and I think it's a space within music that often, unless you've got the right person, the right mentor, the right school structure kind of introducing you, we often miss out on the biggest pool of talent because people just don't know what's available. But you've also got to sharpen the tip of the spear. Those that are actually practicing the music every day, living the craft, need to be able to speak to each other to raise that baseline. What is the impact here? When you kind of have the opportunity to catch your breath and look at that bigger picture, how much of a difference does this symposium make now, coming into its second year, which is brilliant?
I think it strongly creates a platform for composers all over the country to come together, to share ideas, to interact with each other, because it can be quite an isolated career path. You're just sitting behind your computer, clacking away every day.
In your world.
In your own world. But the Symposium definitely creates a platform for young artists to be exposed to what is in the bigger world. It also enables the performers themselves to perform some new works, and not just your Beethoven, not just your Mozart that everyone knows already. So it creates this inclusive environment that a lot of different strands of the music world can come together, especially for the composers who can experiment, who can try new things, who get the exposure to actually play around with what their sound could potentially develop into. And we are creating the new composers of our era.
I love that. And what a powerful point to punctuate as well, because I recently had the pleasure of meeting a composer who's working on like Star Wars and crazy stuff like that. It's in the music. It's in the finer nuance. It's in the emotion. It's being able to live that. But you've got to have, again, the structures that support that to see us attain that sort of level. You seem to have found a beautiful balance here of being able to speak to those that are literally at the top of their field and be able to spread that love and introduce maybe new inspiration to those generations, but also engage with that generation, make it really accessible. So you've run through some amazing things that are happening. What's the best way to get the most out of this? If you're someone who's interested in this space, wanting to become a composer specifically, why is this such a powerful thing to be a part of, and how do we get the most out of it?
I think if you go, it's a vibrant symposium. So if you go with the mind of socializing, with networking, with meeting performers, but meeting other composers, meeting everyone that's around you in the field, I think that is amazing. And then also for anyone wanting to watch, if you don't have to be this hectic music person, it is there for everyone else. I think you will still find so many things that you find interesting and that you will actually really enjoy listening to.
I find with these sorts of moments, because you're getting original music a lot of the time, you're getting an unforgettable, never experienced before moment in the history of art, which is a very, very beautiful thing in itself. How do we get there? How do we plug in? How do we capitalize on the opportunity?
So you can get tickets on WebTicket. There's under SOSAC, under the symposium, there is all the shows that is there. You can go in there, you can book a ticket. You can just pitch up at the symposium and get a ticket at the door.
Brilliant.
You can go on the website. So there's a whole website for the symposium at sacomposers.com, and you can get the tickets there. But yeah, don't miss it. You will.
It's a beautiful part of the world to hear beautiful music and connect with beautiful minds. And I think it's that element, the creation of the strategic network. Just very quickly, Ben, you're going to be stepping onto stage in just a moment. Tell us a bit more about your performance. What are you going to perform for us right now?
So with Autumn Cantores, who's my ensemble, our little project ensemble, we were going to perform an arrangement done by myself of a very, very famous hymn that we usually sing in church called Susse Wildsborg. And I generally hope everyone enjoys it.
I have no doubt they will. Ben, you can go and take to the stage. Lisa, thank you so much for being here and doing this. I have a feeling for the artists that are really sitting on that cusp, this is going to make all the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, just a little taste of the symposium that hits Stellenbosch next week. It is the incredible Autumn Cantores. Enjoy.